Yeah. First and foremost, man, just take it one day at a time, man. Every day is gonna look different. Everything. Life is life at the end of the day. Yes, this is a beautiful, blessed month. An opportunity for us to grow individually as people. But life is still gonna do what it do. Welcome to yet another episode of the No Limit Radio podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. No Limit Wiz. We're back, Mr. Eric.
We're back.
King
Eric,
Kasik.
I am back.
Yeah.
We are back.
Is that a secret?
What?
Do we want people knowing about your rap name?
It's all good. I mean, it's not something I go by as much anymore. So I feel like it works.
Yeah.
Kasik.
I like it. I don't want it to die. That's why. So I'm just like,
No,
I'm gonna do what I can.
I feel like we've gone through a few episodes where you say it, and I'm like, I don't know if people ever pick up or understand what it means. So yeah, I mean, that was way back in the day, back when my MC days. That was the name I went by. So yeah, it's something that is gone but not forgotten.
Yep.
A little bit of
for
life
me,
back here at No Limit.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think there's you know what I'm saying, I think you got game with the pen and everything like that. So I'm gonna try to do what I can to, like, you know, preserve it.
I appreciate that. That's
so tough. Like little subtle kind of, like, you know, in, you know what I'm saying, what's the word for it? Just, you know, saying it in the intro or something like that, subtly, you know, here and there or something like that. I think it's gonna help or something like that. But anyway, man.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
All right.
We're back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, man. We took a little hiatus, man. Had some things going on. You know
I would say it was like a PTO, man.
PTO.
Yeah.
That sounds much better.
We took some PTO,
that.
man. Life happens, man. You know what I'm saying? Things come up. Things need to be addressed, you know, tended to, all that good stuff. And yeah, man.
Yeah. It's
sorry.
No, it's like you gotta recharge a little bit, you know, realign a little bit, or figure out how you're gonna realign. So yeah, that was more on my side last week, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, so, I played into it too, you know what I'm saying, with the COVID and everything. But it kind of lined up like perfectly, right?
True. Yeah.
Did
it? Yeah. You had a little bit of a bout.
Yeah.
Bout of sickness. So.
Yeah. So.
Alhamdulillah, man, you're doing good, man. You and the family.
Yeah, bro. So. You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Like, the way, like, the sequence of events of how it happened, like, it's fun. It was a funny. Like, you would think, like, yo, like, the way I was moving, like, you know, when everything started and everything, like, I would be the one to bring it into the house. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a basketball thing, like, trying to, like, stay active. Wasn't really trying to. I think I was being responsible.
Yeah. Okay.
To some extent, but at the same time, there was definitely some room left where, you know, some shit can go down. You know what I mean? So, but hey, man, we're here, man. We made it.
You survived.
We're on the other side of it.
It's all good.
Yeah,
man. That's what matters. So.
It's not the move, man. I'll say this for what it's worth. It's definitely an inconvenience to the extent of, I don't recommend that to anybody. You know, the whole isolation aspect of it, just like kind of like staying indoors. And when we had to stay in for that week, it sucked a little bit more, just because I think it was a good weather week.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's true.
Like, so fortunately I had virtually like little to no symptoms, right? Didn't lose the smell, didn't lose the taste, all that good stuff and everything like that. So that was good. Fever and everything like that. Didn't really experience any of that stuff. So I was able to still work, you know, like go online and put in my time and everything like that, and I was still pretty, like, you know, cool.
Yeah.
It just sucked because it's like, you know, when you close that laptop at the end of the workday and you would like, you look out that window and you're like, wow, it looks real pleasant, man. I would love to just, you know, take in some fresh air and everything. It's like that. It's like, nah.
Dang, man. Yeah.
Gotta stay in.
And because the weather changed drastically.
Exactly. That's Nova for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know the game, man. But anyway, we here, man. So, you know, to the listeners, to everybody out there, you know, please forgive us. This was definitely not the intention, but like we said, man, life is life. Things come up, obstacles present themselves, and it's, you know, up to us to kind of find ways to maneuver and navigate around them so that we can, you know, keep the content flowing.
Yeah.
Regular scheduled programming, whatever, all that good stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
that being said, man, let's move on. So how we feeling? How you feel, man?
Good, man. Tomorrow's Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah, man. Getting ready to get into some stuff, man.
Yeah.
Soon,
Yeah.
like got a big month ahead of us.
Yeah. That's true. How do you feel?
I feel
Ramadan, man.
yeah. For those who aren't hip, Ramadan is starting Saturday.
I hope you're like hip, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's for anyone. Anyone might be tuning in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, yeah, if you're not hip, get hip.
Yeah.
But
Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm talking like me being. I'm talking to Muslims. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, as a Muslim, I hope you're hip. But
yeah.
No. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
But
So,
if you're not, or you're just not on that time right now, whatever. Yeah, this Saturday we got Ramadan starting, which is basically we're gonna fast for a month. No food, no water, no sex during the daytime. For like 30 days,
for
man.
30 straight days, man.
Yeah, and then we get to party after.
Yeah, man. Back to yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just a time to reflect, get right spiritually, draw near to God. You know what I mean? So getting ready to, we're preparing for that, and I feel like it's needed, man. I just feel like I need that time to, like, talking about recharging, like spiritually, I just need to recharge. And Ramadan is that time where it's like you come out of it feeling stronger than you did before you go and going in, so if you're doing it right. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to going through it and just getting what I can from it, benefiting from it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward.
Yeah, no, you hit it on the head, man. Right on time, man. Like it's it comes once every year, that 1 month and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a blessed and sacred time where like all demons and everything are locked up for like a month, and it's an opportunity to like just kind of like tap into your spiritual side and just kind of like what's the word for it? Kind of hit that reset button. Reset, start fresh, and build yourself up. This is an opportunity, but great, like an amazing opportunity where we have a chance to establish new habits, positive, what I'm saying, kind of get some sort of build some type of momentum and build some new habits, and everything like that, just to kind of grow and whatever. What do they say? They say it takes about 21 days to kind of build a new habit.
Yeah,
and then like 60
yeah.
60 for a new lifestyle, something like that, or whatever, or 90 days for a new lifestyle. So if you're trying to start something, whether it's tap into your spirituality, get healthy, because I mean this month also has so many positive benefits to just the body biologically, right, with the whole just detox and everything.
Right.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, and like obviously it's a spiritually focused time, but I also think it's a great, and maybe it's because you're trying to like cleanse yourself spiritually, it also allows you to kind of branch out into other aspects of your life too. And like there's a way to like focus on what it is that you feel you need to focus on. A lot of, some people they want to pray more, or they want to read the Quran more, or they want to meditate more or whatever, but it's also a great time to like work on your like your health, like your physical health. If you want to lose some weight and really try to manage your eating habits and like all that kind of stuff, is a great time for that. But then it's also another chance to like work on yourself. Like if there's anything that you feel like you're noticing about yourself that you want to rectify, or that you're like, wait a minute, let me do a self check, like this is a perfect time to do that. Like is there anything that like you feel like you might be looking towards accomplishing this month in that regard, or like?
Well, yeah, I would say first and foremost, I think the first thing I could think of is just kind of like my eating habits, trying to curb those. I'm trying to take I think I talk about this in previous episodes, especially top of the year, man. I'm trying to kind of be more mindful of like my health, trying to be, do my part, as far as, maintaining and building good, healthy habits. Personally for me, I'm a firm believer, when what's the word for it? When you're healthy, mentally, spiritually, and physically, you're good, I want to feel good. And for me, looking good helps that part.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
You know,
Look good to
so
feel good.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little all over the place, but basically, in a way, I'm trying to make it sound kind of cool a little bit. But yeah, like yeah, like I'm trying to lose some weight, man. Basically, I'm beating around the bush. I'm trying to lose some weight.
There you go.
Get on top of this eating habits that I have. These late night binge eating sessions that I've kind of developed through this quarantine and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if I kind of get that under control, get more active, right? Establish some type of rhythm and flow with that, some normalcy as far as being active, you know. Yeah, man. I think I could do this, man.
Yeah, man, inshallah you will. You will.
I mean that these are like superficial reasons. I mean superficial things I would like to kind of like work on. But I mean if I'm really talking about kind of like the really deep like nitty gritty stuff, I would say, you know, kind of like, you know, be more spiritual, but mindful as far as like kind of tending to my spiritual side. You know, have more conversations with God. Spend more mindful time with family. I think this is such a great time to kind of like be cool. I mean, you know, be around and you know, say proximity wise with your family. And yeah, man, I think that's the stuff that like is like the big stuff that matter like a lot that I would definitely want to do. What about you?
Yeah, you said something before, which like in my own way of describing it, I call it like alignment with myself. Like you mentioned, physical, spiritual, like emotional health.
I'm just trying to line all that up.
Yeah, me. I'm just trying to get that alignment going on, man. Like, and I notice when, like, typically during Ramadan, like, I'm already kind of a meditative person to begin with. So I automatically kind of start to bring it back to myself.
That's right.
Like, what do I want to improve about myself?
Yeah.
And I think that I've been out of alignment, you know, and so really just kind of bringing it all home, making sure I have that spiritual grounding, the physical grounding, which, you know, I've been working on, but there's definitely work to be desired. Like, you know, I definitely have some dietary indulgences, you know, that fasting would definitely help out with. And
exactly.
You know, just kind of disciplining myself not to do too much, because it's easy when you fast to like pig out as soon as it's time to break your fast. And like,
right, that's the trap. That's the trick right there. Yep.
The real trick is like, you don't go overboard. You find you eat the right things to keep you satiated, and to make sure the metabolism and all that stuff is working good and that you have strength. And then the idea is to not eat so much that you get tired fast and that you can't worship at night. You know what I mean? So like, you got to trying to find that balance is gonna be like a discipline thing for me. But then we're still exercising throughout, and then just kind of getting right with myself. You know, like my own habits, my own thinking patterns, behaviors, all that kind of stuff. And so I really want to take some time to address what I think are like things pertaining to my inner child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've done therapy before, within the past year and a half, a couple times. I've had a couple of therapists, and that's something that's kind of come up, is like, you know, we need to work on your inner child. And I'm like,
right,
I know where this is going. You know, like, I'm already kind of self-aware in that sense, but working through it is something that I need to spend more time doing. So that's kind of
but like, to those who don't like, or, you know, sort of hearing that for the first time, like, what do you mean by that when they say like, when a therapist like suggests like kind of addressing or working on tending to your inner child, right?
Okay, so this is not the textbook definition. This is just kind of my general understanding, right? So, you know, feel free to fact check on your own time.
Right.
I'm admitting right now I don't have everything.
Yeah.
But what I would describe it as is there are things that you experience or witness in your, you know, childhood and adolescent years. Well, really more childhood years, because those are your more formative years. That can have deep, lasting effects on your psyche and your behavioral patterns. And a lot of that comes from like your parents and their dynamics with you and with each other, and like the environment that you were raised in and stuff, because you're like extremely impressionable as a child. So the way that like your parents interact with you is really like your first exposure to like understanding people and relationships in the world and stuff like that. And then of course whatever other experiences you have growing up. those have an impact as well. So my understanding of it is that healing your inner child means like going through things, like kind of working backwards to your child self, and kind of working through and addressing any kinds of like trauma or abuse or like not quite understood issues that were established so long ago that you're not conscious of it, but it plays an active role in how you move in your adolescent or adult life. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with it. Like the way I understand it is that there were certain things that I experienced as a child that influence how I am now. And I'm not going to be able to rectify those behaviors that I have now unless I kind of go back to the root of it. And that's it, kind of starts in my childhood. So that's my very basic interpretation of what that means.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I want to try to spend more time working on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But it's tough.
In a month like this one where we have the opportunity and like the like I said, when like, spiritually, like in Islam, with this month they say like, all shaitans, all demons are basically locked away. So these internal battles that we all deal with, what we like to kind of describe as kind of like, like the shaitan or the devils is like in your ear, like whispering like negative thoughts and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Those don't exist, or you know what I mean, for these next 30 days. So a time like this where, like you described, you're trying to be more mindful and spend more time, like, trying to address things mentally and emotionally. I think what better time than a month like this one.
Right. And I'll tell you something. I had kind of a revelation a few years ago. There was a particular Ramadan where it felt a little bit more difficult than normal because like your body adjusts to the hunger thing, right? So yeah,
of course, that's like the easiest part, right?
Yeah, first few days you kind of fight yourself, and it's the body, it's the physical type stuff, but then you kind of ride it out for like the next 2.5 to 3 weeks where you're like, I'm used to it, I'm good.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's, even though you're not fighting the physical battle, you're dealing with other things, right? So sometimes it's external. Maybe you're in a place where you're just around a lot of stuff you shouldn't be around, and it's hard to get away from. So you have to battle yourself on like, okay, how much exposure am I going to have to these things or whatever. But there was a year where I was struggling particularly with, just certain things that were not related to like physical fasting, just kind of like what I was around and what I was exposed to.
external stimulants.
Well, that's kind of how it started,
right?
But it became an inner battle.
Yeah.
And I remember tripping because I was like, wait a minute, like the devils and the demons and stuff are supposed to be locked up. Like, why am I still having these inner battles with things?
Yeah.
And then I realized like, maybe it's not, it's easy. It's like, we have this concept where it's like, the devil will like whisper to you. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So anytime you go through something or you're doing something, you're like, I shouldn't be doing it. You just kind of put, oh, that's shaitan. You know what I mean? Like that's the devil or whatever. But what happens when he's supposed to be locked up and you still kind of going through things? You're like, and then you realize, yo, this is a me thing.
Exactly. No, it's like when your body and your body, your mind is part of your body, right? But like when we talking about just like basically like your body gets accustomed to certain things, right? Like eating certain things at specific times or eating around a certain time, right? When you don't do it, your body immediately recognizes the change and they start, it starts doing like these things where it starts fiending for it. Like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Right. Like, you normally used to do this at this time, so like, what are you doing? So I think the same thing applies mentally. I'm just working this out in real time, but like, I would assume like the same things apply to your mental. So certain thoughts and certain things that you kind of like, think about or ponder on or something. Like, yes, not all of it. Like you said, the easy answer would be, oh yes, devil, man. I just gotta, just gotta get it out of there. You know what I mean? Shun these thoughts and everything like that. But then, I mean, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you just get accustomed to thinking a certain way. Your mentality shifts. You know what I mean? And it gets accustomed to it starts, saying it's shaped a certain way. So it's like, it's up to you to like kind of rework the wiring a little bit, shift the overall perspective, try to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I would assume. I don't know.
It makes sense, but I would even take it a step further and say like we all have egos.
Yeah.
We're all sinners.
Yeah.
You're like the sins don't come from something else all the time.
No.
Sometimes you're influenced, but even then, like in order for you to be influenced, you have to act on something that's already kind of within you. That's how I feel.
No, that's
You know
real.
what I mean? So
That's
like
real.
I mean that's kind of like the sneaky nature of sin, right? Like under certain circumstances you wouldn't do it, and under certain circumstances you feel tempted to do it, and other ones like you get so far to be tempted as to actually do it. And so like what I realized during that particular Ramadan is like this whole time I'm thinking to myself, man, it's like it's some kind of external force like kind of just negatively impacting me, like, you know, in a devilish way or whatever. But this is actually like these are some of the things that I'm struggling with these are the things that like those forces are trying to get me to act on. But that's not from them, that's from me. And that shook me and it made me realize, yo, like this is the frailty of human life. Like
yeah, like hence why like we all have different vices. You know what I'm saying? We all battle with different things that, you know, like to some people, like, you know, gambling's a real thing. Like they just they love the rush. They can't shake it. You know what I'm saying? Where that comes from, I don't know. It's probably a deeper reason or something like that. But that's a vice. And other people, it could be like, I don't know, eating pork. They just have a thing for, or drinking, or, you know what I mean, or drinking
sex,
liquor
man.
or something like that.
Drinking liquor, sex, like you know, just it could be any of those vices, man.
Yeah, like we're all wired different.
Exactly.
Hence why all our vices are different. You know what I'm saying? It's a case by case scenario. So like, yes, we battle with the demon as far as like externally. He's always working, trying to plot on your downfall, trying to, you know, see if he can corner you into doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing. But over time, when you do kind of succumb to those things, you kind of get accustomed to it, you get used to it. And then, you know, ultimately that's just like your thing, you know? And so it's up to you to address that, rework the wiring a little bit, and then kind of undo that. So that way, you know what I mean? So I think it's a balance. It's not solely the devil, you know, talking to you, but it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like we have parts in that as well. So I think I want to say it's a little bit of like a 50-50 kind of thing close.
You know, I remember seeing a quote one time, and it was saying something to the effect that like the money brings out in you how you truly are. Like when you come into it, you know what I mean? Like it shows more of who you are. And some people, they're very generous. They're very like good natured.
Yeah.
So like the money for them, they use it to help others, or they use it to advance the lives of others, or like enrich what they have, and you know, that kind of thing. Or some people, they just turn into a-holes.
Right.
You've always been an a-hole. It wasn't the money.
Nah.
The money made you like bring that out of yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
I feel like it's the same kind of thing. Like the devil can't force you to be something that you're not. He's just going to play with you and kind of influence you to act on something that's already indwelling.
Yeah, it might be unrelated. What did they say? Like a woman isn't like their character or something like that isn't tested when it's tested when they have nothing, and then a man's is when he has everything or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that relates to like what you're kind of talking about a little bit.
I think it does definitely relate.
Yeah.
And it goes back to your earlier point about people just having different vices.
Yeah.
You know, like for women, their criteria of things that, you know, speaks to whatever their inner desires are very different from men's in general.
Right.
You know, not to say there aren't some similarities and crossovers, but for the most part, we have different types of tests and temptations. And yeah, I would agree with that. I think when women don't have much,
how you gonna act?
Exactly.
Right.
And when a guy has everything,
what you want to do?
Yeah.
You know?
And anyone who really thinks about it will realize there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
So
a lot of work to be done in this month, man. And it's such it's such a great time, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I used to dread it when I was younger because I'm just like, damn, man, going to school, doing a whole 8-hour thing, you know, like no drinking, no you know what I'm saying, no eating with the friends.
Not even water?
Not even water? Yeah, like all that goofy, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But then as I kind of grew older, kind of like had more experiences, kind of got a chance to kind of widen my perspective on things, man. It's such a blessed month. And it's so much good can come out of this, you know, if you
Yeah.
do it right, if you approach it right. And, you know, like the level of discipline that could be achieved in these 30 days, you know what I'm saying? If you do it right, can, like, you know, domino effect into the rest of your year. You know, like if you came into this year with certain goals and you want to achieve XYZ, a month like this one could be transformative if you do it right, you know.
Exactly.
Hence why, like, exactly like you said, man, it came in, like, I don't know how God just like lined it up perfectly in a way where it's like every year I always have this feeling where it's like it's right on time at a time where I need it most for some reason, even though it's always shifting backwards, right? Like due to the lunar calendar and everything. When it comes in for some reason, like it always catches me in a spot in my life where I'm just like, yeah, I could really use these next 30 days to really just like lock in and try to better myself as a human being and, you know, a Muslim. Tapping into spirituality. Growing up, I remember having this conversation in psychology class. Our teacher, he was talking about how basically, like, as you grow older, life becomes kind of like lame. It's tough. It's basically like life gets tougher when you don't have that like internal compass, like spirituality, to help guide you, you know. So, you know, for those who, you know, don't have that, man, it's like, yo, how do you kind of maneuver? How do you navigate? How do you know which direction to go and everything like that? You know what I mean? So yeah, the months like these, man, like, I mean, when it's like this time of year, it always takes me back to that conversation. Something that, you know, I think about. And yeah, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, something that amazes me is that I feel the same way as you do. Like I feel like I always hit this like like things tend to get a little bit more challenging just before Ramadan. Like I'm like,
it's weird,
I
right?
need this, you know what I mean? And then like
weird.
you finish the month and then you're like, yeah, I'm good. And then like
I wouldn't even say like I could keep going if I wanted to. Type.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
at the end, I'm like, yo, it's over. I could low key keep this going if I wanted
to. Yeah. That's a very good point. Yeah. And like, but I always get mesmerized by the sense like, yo, this is Allah, man. Like this is the fact that he, like, we all have very different, unique lives, right? And not just us here, but people overseas, people all corners of the earth are preparing for this month. And in our own individual intersecting, parallel, whatever kind of ways you want to describe it, everyone feels like they need this month because of X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And like think about that. That's your own individual life. With everything you have going on, you're like, man, I need this month. And then there's like me, who my own individual life, everything going on it, I need this month.
Yeah.
And then somebody down the street, same thing. Somebody in another state, whatever. You get my point. Everybody's situation, everyone's life is like, we all get brought back to this place where we're like, we need this. And then the doors open for us, man.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, that's like mind boggling. Like that's part of like the greatness of, you know, like of Allah, that he has all of these different things going on. These like mini universes all kind of working at the same time almost.
Yeah, nah, it's gonna be, yeah,
like,
it's beautiful, it's poetic, it's I don't know, it's like a masterpiece, man. It's something that like it's otherworldly, how things just have a way to just like line up the way they do.
Yeah.
Around this time of year, you know. Decisions need to be made, you know what I mean? I don't know about you. Kind of figuring out a way to sort of stay away from social media. I don't know how I'm gonna figure out. I need to kind of figure out what I want to do with the social media thing and everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Like the way my algorithm's set up, man, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So like I can go from like, yo, like some spiritual content here where it's like, wow, that was a good piece of content, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then it'll go somewhere way left. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what the heck? What am I doing here? You know what I mean? So that's like, it's gonna be interesting trying to kind of navigate and maneuver that, trying to see if I could get that get that algorithm shifted, in time. I know the first couple of days is gonna be kind of crazy. So
Yeah. I mean, I know some people take full breaks from it.
Yeah,
For me, I'm
yeah.
kind of like, I just want to limit my exposure.
That's all. Yeah, right. Yeah.
There are definitely things that I feel like I benefit from on it. So I'm like, I don't want to miss out
That's
on
what I'm
that.
saying.
And
Yeah.
so and
There is a benefit if you use it right. Like
yeah,
social media could be a very valuable tool in your life.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, being more mindful. Like for example, like it'll be cool to catch myself in those moments where I don't necessarily need to be picking up my phone, but I'll do it just out of habit.
Yeah,
So catching myself in the act and trying to be like, yo, chill, man. Like, what are you doing?
yeah,
Cut it out. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we'll see, man. We'll figure it out, man. But I'm looking forward to this month. It's gonna be great. Looking forward to all the great moments where we can kind of like get together, break bread. I think that's one of my favorite parts, aspects of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like just the iftars, man. Just like getting together and eating food and just enjoying one another's company, man, for the sake of God and just like just the moment and everything, man. It's such a beautiful time. So
for sure, man. You appreciate the gatherings and the meals much more.
way more.
Man.
Way more. Even though, like me and you, for example, we've gone out to eat several times, man. But for some reason, like those iftars, man, they just be hitting different, dog. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, yeah, man. Tap in, man. Looking forward to those, and this is gonna be a great month, man.
Do you have any advice for anyone? Like, what's something you feel like you would want to pass on to anyone who's preparing for this month?
First and foremost, man, just take it one day at a time, man. Every day is gonna look different. Everything, life is life at the end of the day. Yes, this is a beautiful, blessed month, an opportunity for us to grow individually as people. But life is still gonna do what it do. Obstacles and things will come up. Not every day will be uniform, the same like as the previous one. So, don't get too high. Don't set super high expectations on yourself where, not saying they're unreachable or anything like that, but if you were to fall short, you'd be, it would like be devastating. Just kind of like, I don't know, for me personally, I try to kind of carry myself as like a stoic, very balanced individual. So like, I try to be, very rational, in the goals and things that I set, because I want to be able to hit the mark on every single thing in a way where it's not like, yo, I'm trying to achieve massive growth, more of like I want to achieve growth, but I want to be able to sustain it over a long time.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. I want to improve on things, but I want to be able to make those improvements, but then also sustain it. So that way it's like, okay, who I am today is going to be drastically different this time next year. Hopefully. You see what I'm saying? So, approaching this month with reasonable, attainable, and sustainable goals is gonna be important. And then just taking it one day at a time, man, and just woosah, man. Let the month do what it do, and it's gonna be great, man. Don't overthink it.
Let it roll.
Yeah, man, that's all, man. I feel like a lot of people would be trying to like hit this thing with like some type of aggressive, intensity to
overzealous,
it. Yeah, very overzealous. And it's like, yo, that's dope. It's cool, but like fires do, right? Eventually, as hot as they get, eventually they die. So like, try to find a way to like establish that consistency and sustain it, and just kind of ride that wave, man. Let it do what it do.
Yeah. No.
What about you, man?
That's a good reminder. For me, this is more of like a personal thing that maybe I'm hoping others might be able to benefit from. Like having more conversations with God, man. Like really, like
that's a bar. Yeah.
Like I notice I get into the habit of like following certain routines, rituals and stuff, and sometimes it takes away from like me actually communicating with Allah. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of want to find that balance. That's the ideal situation. But like, when I was younger, I haven't always been a Muslim, but
we gotta explore that. One of these days, man. We gotta do an episode talking about your journey to.
That's like a series, bro.
Yeah, that's a series in its own self, right there, man. Yeah, chapter 1.
Yeah.
Birth. Nah, but yeah, my bad. Continue.
No, you're good. But the like, just having conversations, like making like dara, like just being like, you know what? I just need to talk to you. I need to just get out how I'm feeling to you, and I just, because he's always listening.
Yeah.
He knows everything, right? But just that like being able to communicate, get it out of yourself, and he's the one that he's the one that makes things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the one that brings peace into your heart. He's the one who rectifies your affairs and your situations. Like, I just want to spend more time having conversations with God, and that's something that hopefully, we're all trying to do. But I'm trying to avoid sticking so much to the formula and losing like the sincerity of it, and really just like, you know what? I just want to talk.
That's all.
Commune and really just talk to the one who knows best what I'm going through.
Right.
So that's
if anybody got the answers, man, it's God.
Exactly.
Right.
Praise be to Allah, man.
All praise to the Most High, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And I appreciate you sharing that one, because I definitely gotta write that one down and keep that one in mind as the month kind of goes and comes in and does what it does. So
yeah, for sure.
Because I think that's important, man. Keeping things organic and natural, and not be so heavily agenda based where you have like these goals like, yo, man, I'm gonna talk to God because I need XYZ and stuff like that. So hey, God, you know what I mean? Have those type of conversations.
Right.
No, let me just
it's how I'm feeling.
Just hey, man, today was the day, man. You know what I'm saying? XYZ, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for guidance and everything like that. And it's I like that a lot, man. I like that a lot.
We get insurance plans, we pay money, we get referrals, we talk to other people, we air out our dirty laundry and stuff to like virtual strangers, but like here is the one who has the ability to solve all of our problems, and he knows exactly what we're going through. Like, we need to give that right to him first.
Yeah.
Then if you want to seek like professional help, like where I'm trying to get to a place of is where like I ask Allah first for any and everything.
Yeah.
And then if I need to do it, or if I need to go to someone or somewhere to get it done, then I go cover that base. But like, I want to get to a place where like, no matter what, my first course of action is to ask Allah first.
Yeah.
And then move, so if I need to talk to someone, if I need to get my feelings out or whatever, like I want to try to establish that this month, inshallah, and keep it going.
Yeah. So. No, I'm excited, man, and I appreciate that, man. That's good. That's solid. That's solid advice. That's solid. That's a dope thing to have in mind as we approach this blessed month. So yeah, man. I think with that being said, I think this is a good spot to just kind of like wrap things up, kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think this was a good one, man.
Yeah, we welcome the month, and
definitely looking forward to it. And like, to those who watching and listening, please, man, like looking for, like, reach out, man. I want to hear what you guys kind of are like looking to kind of address, not change necessarily, but just
work on.
Where's your mind at, basically, more so or less or anything. Just let's just tap in, man. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to share or add to the conversation, and yeah, man, we'll go from there, man. Yeah. With that being said, man, tap in with us if you like anything that we talked about here. If you feel like we missed some good points, or areas where this conversation could have gone somewhere else. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, we're not perfect.
Yeah, you feel me? Or you feel like we missed something, man? Please check us out on our Instagram and Twitter at No Limit Radio DMV. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, shoot us the email at nolimitradiodmv@gmail.com. And like we always ask, request, please drop a rating.
5-star 3 times so it sticks in your head.
Yeah, exactly. 3 times. There you go. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, man, with that being said, man,
yeah, just thank you everyone for tuning in again to No Limit Radio. And for those who are celebrating the month of Ramadan, we wish you all the best, and we hope that all of your prayers are answered and that your fasting is accepted. And anyone who's not celebrating Ramadan, we still hope that we still hope good for you and everything like that. Give it a try. Try fasting.
Check it out,
time.
man.
Test yourself.
Yeah.
Test your discipline. Test your ability to do something different. Get a chance to learn what the month is about. It has a very good message, very good message behind it. We'll still be recording and everything, but
regular scheduled programming and everything like that. We won't miss a beat. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the plan.
Keep tapping in, keep tuning in, and we'll be here.
There it is.
So till then, guys, take it easy, stay safe, stay healthy,